Top of the morning, fight fans. This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News. Uh-oh. And I am live for the weigh-in. I'm a bit early, to say the least, but better early than late. And I want to go over some stuff with you guys while I have you here. You guys come in, hit that like button. Aaron Edson, top of the morning, counterpunch to you. Tired of talking and ready for the walk-in bars. Absolutely. That's exactly what I'm sick of as well. But while we're here, man, I have some info that I was going to do a video on, but we're here. So we might as well top it now. Mama Lou, counterpunch to you. My day just started. I'm just fresh out of the bed. Worked late last night. So, I'm like, okay, I'm ready to get it in. And it's concerning Lennox Lewis. And Lennox had some surprising things to say. Freddie, yo, Kurt, much respect from the UK. Counterpunch to you. But yeah, man, Lennox Lewis, he's definitely had some surprising things to say. And wow, I forgot the timeline between us. Yeah, dude, it's crazy. It's like here it is 8:17 in the morning here. So yeah. So what does that leave us, you guys, at 2 p.m.? Nah, dude, this people still in bed or just getting up at that time. But no, it's 2:17. Yeah. Jackson Man. Kurt, you imagine Lennox Lewis was in this era of heavyweights? Yeah, I can. I mean, if he was in this era of heavyweights, he would probably still be disliked. People would still not like him. Because I didn't like Lennox Lewis, man. I didn't like his attitude. He kind of came off pompous. He was dry at times. I mean, he could fight. Yeah, dude, he was kicking everybody's ass that I liked. Bars. Oh, he was. Lennox Lewis was whooping every dude he whooped Mike Tyson. He just peppered David Tua. Ike Barabucci just kind of fell off, and you're like, what the hell? So we never saw that fight. So a lot of things, George Dubois, powerhouse at the UK, Great Britain, with the flexing emoji, is ready to demolish Usyk. I heard that. Man, we're coming out in droves. It's going to be lit tomorrow. I think it's going to be where it needs to be tomorrow concerning the UK, concerning the Ukraine, concerning Poland, concerning Nigeria, concerning the US of A, concerning everywhere that boxing is shown and known. It will be lit. Babsy, 627, counterpunch to you. How much do y'all think Akoli will weigh in? I don't know, but I can tell you this much. Bakali, bro. Bakali is definitely a big dude because he's tall. And what he's trying to do, he's trying to fill into the weight. And he's lean. And what normally happens with guys that tall and lanky that's trying to gain weight, they end up gaining too much weight. You know what I mean? So now he just looks like kind of like a retired basketball player in retrospect. You know what I'm saying? So he's a big dude. He's gonna be big. He's gonna be big. He's gonna be at least 245. He's a big dude. Nobody's demolishing Usyk. Let's get real here. Richard S. Counterpunch Kurt. Usyk in 6 to prove a point. I don't know. I don't know if I would give Usyk, if he's going to, I mean, I would give Daniel more credit than that. Because if Usyk stops Daniel, I don't think it'll be in the 6th round. It would have to be in maybe the 10th, if he does it at all. Because what I've learned about Danny Dubois is he has built himself back up from that dark place, whatever the hell that was. Whatever the dark place explanation was, it was a time that was dark enough to make him quit. He just did not have the confidence. So if that equates dark place equals quitter or quitting, that's what that is to me. Because I mean, I'm not a psychologist. You know what I mean? So I don't really know what that meant. But I think that's not the case no more. You know, he just had a baby, he has a family now, he has a girl now, you know what I mean? And, you know, and I think he's different. He's with Don Charles for the last 2 years. So he's, you know, and Don Charles, I think, is like the second daddy figure in his career. You know, he's pressing buttons to Daniel to do what he wants him to do. So that may be a main factor that a lot of people, you know, don't realize about Danny Dubois. Danny Dubois has changed since Don Charles. Because, you know, he went from Shane McGuigan to Don Charles. And a lot of things happened and transpired between him leaving Shane McGuigan and getting with Don Charles. Okay. You know, remember, Caroline Dubois is still with Shane McGuigan. So let that sink in. So it ain't something that it's more different than we think it is. But back to Daniel. Daniel is a guy, though, that had to build himself back up with help. So I'm saying all that to say this. Daniel building himself back up from 2023 to now, he didn't do it by himself. He did it with help. He did it with help. He had Don Charles, he had his girl, he has a new child, you know, and I think now Don Charles and Stan Dubois are in better relationships, you know, are better in a relationship with getting him ready. Might be too easy for Usyk this time. Will Triple D go low again? You know, I'm going to tell you guys what I think. What I think that King Dubois, Daniel Dubois, is working on. Team Dubois is working on 10 a.m. That's where it starts. Yeah, it starts in about 30 minutes. So we got time. You know, so I'm here and we can talk about some videos and we can counterpunch some videos and, you know, I'm gonna do that here in a little bit. Skrilla 50 in the building. What's up, my brother? The man with the wrench. He is the guy with the sword. They should have a sword versus a wrench, so you can slice these dudes and get them out of here. But thanks, Luca, the one I love to hate. Good morning. Wow. Okay. Okay. A little verbal sparring up in this piece. St. Don, where you been? Shout out, counterpunch to St. Don in the building. Will Usyk feign injury again? Uh-oh. Listen, but back to Daniel. I think Daniel, the last thing he'll do is quit. I think he was ridiculed so much. The last thing he'll do is quit. You know what I mean? I think he will. I think he will. I think this will be a different fight this time. I do think that. You know, because I think he was ridiculed so much, and people thought that he was going to do what they saw him do in the Usyk fight, to the point where that's going to be the last thing that he does. That's one thing that you can bet on, that he won't quit. You know what I mean? Let alone get stopped. You know what I mean? I just think he's just durable. I think he's bigger, stronger. You know, I think he's, when I mean stronger, I mean mentally stronger. But again, he had to have help with that. He didn't do that shit by himself. Hey, Kurt, what happened to my crown? I always clicking 3 and 4 times on video. Not nice talking, taking the queen's crown away. I don't know. What happened to it? I couldn't tell you. I don't know how that works. Babsy627. Welcome to the most pointless weekend in boxing. Both Dubois and Pac-Man wasted time. Yeah, Pac-Man, here's the thing, man. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. I'm trying to find a way not to pay for that fight. I mean, and don't get me wrong, that's a good card. So I'm gonna pay for the fight. I'm gonna watch it tomorrow. But I don't want to. I don't want to watch it tomorrow. I don't want to watch that fight tomorrow. I want to watch it somewhere. I just don't want to pay for it. You see what I mean? Like that shit's like $70. It's crazy. That shit's deplorable. You want me to pay $70 to watch Pac-Man at 46, possibly go out and get his ass whooped at 46 years old. This man is 46, fighting Mario Barrios. And Mario Barrios is my height. I don't know, man. But I do want to see Tim Tszyu versus Fondora. Tim Tszyu versus Fondora too. I want to see that fight. Because I know that first fight was some bullshit. Oh, yeah. Because that fight, when I think of Tim Tszyu, I think to myself, like, poor bastard. Tim Tszyu, you poor bastard. And I like Tim Tszyu. Don't get it twisted. Poor bastard, you guys know what that means. He's just in a bad place. Like, his team screwed him over to the point where the fight should have been stopped. It happened in the second round. Where Fondora, it wasn't a clash of heads. It was a foul. Fondora hit him with an elbow. Or he ran into an elbow because Fondora is 6'6". So his forehead, the top of his forehead, ran into the elbow. Them sharp-ass blades that Fondora calls elbows, and slices his shit open. And that was in round 2. It was bleeding that bad that these morons, these mongoloids, these bombastic simpletons didn't see, we're not going to be able to cut this badass gash, this gush, this river that's flowing out of his head. We're not going to be able to stop that with these gashes. We're going to have to stop this. But did they stop it? No, they didn't stop it. These dumbasses thought that, hey, we're going to keep the fight going. We're going to keep it going. Right? You idiots. And Fondora ended up, Tim Tszyu couldn't see. He couldn't see. And because of that, he lost the decision because he couldn't see. And Fondora did pretty much what he wanted to from probably rounds 3 to round whenever it ended. I think it was a 12-rounder, right? Yeah. And the crazy thing is, this dude, this poor bastard, Tim Tszyu, the son of royalty of Costa Tszyu, the son of Costa Tszyu, fought this dude for 10 fucking rounds with all that blood coming out of him. You would think that the amount of blood that he lost, you would think the amount of blood that Tim Tszyu lost, he would be weak or some shit like that, because he lost a lot of blood. That was the bloodiest fight that I ever saw in my life. I've saw some bloody fights, but I have never seen one that bloody. That shit looked like watching a horror movie. A horror movie with boxing gloves. That's exactly what that was. And then guess what? Then, Fondora came in as a replacement for old Always, every time Keith, every time injured Thurman. He pulls out. So we supposed to see Thurman versus Tszyu to see where Tim Tszyu was, because this was his first test. And they put his ass in there with the Haslam from fucking Street Fighter. And he gets injured, and they don't know how to stop the fight because his corner was trash. Oh, they were trash. I will always say that. They made the worst mistake for this man's career because what happened? He took the loss. He lost all of his credibility at that point. You know, I mean, as far as belt wise, he lost his accolades, right? Then he goes in and fights Muladaliev. Muladaliev destroyed him because he was a dark horse. He was another I get Kabayel, but he was just a super welterweight, a light middleweight. That was the only difference because this dude could crack, and Tim Tszyu wasn't used to that type of power, and he got destroyed. Yeah, Reinhard. That's what she's saying. She's not a dude. You're saying calm down, dude, but she's not a dude. Does Cafu have a chance against Bam? I have no idea. I don't know enough about those fighters to be real with you. Admit it. Who bet their house and car on Daniel's victory? Ooh, that's a good question, Alex. You know, my boy Showbiz just bet $10,000 on Dubois, and I'm thinking, like, what in the hell? You know, but I mean, before we start like squinching your face at that type of stuff, remember, Showbiz makes that cash. He's getting paid. So I mean, if he does bet, he's going to make it back this weekend or next week. So, you know, if you got that money like that to bet because your revenue is up there, yeah, you can bet that type of shit. You can bet 10 grand because you know, well, hell, if I'm bringing in X amount or so many thousands a month from your YouTube revenue and everything involved with your platform, you can do that. You can do that. It could happen, you know. And I just honestly think, you know, I just think that, you know, you can do that type of stuff. You lose 4 grand at the casino, but you're making 10 to 20 grand a month on your YouTube channel. Oh yeah, it can happen, people. Oh yeah, you know, it's crazy. I'm gonna share a story with you guys. When my channel first started taking off, I was working at Margaritaville. It was this casino and restaurant, like, you know, that was supposed to be only surrounded by water and only in island areas and locations. But needless to say, they had one in Louisiana. And a supervisor was like, you know, well, you got a YouTube channel? I was like, yeah, I got a YouTube channel. You know, and probably by that time I had about 16,000 subscribers. And she said the craziest thing. She was like, oh, YouTube's a scam. Nobody makes money off of YouTube. And I'm thinking to myself, like, what the hell do you know about YouTube to say that nobody makes money off of YouTube? And it just kind of dawned on me that people really don't know what the hell they're talking about. They just really don't know. They just think they know. Eunice Borderball, counterpunch to you, brother. Luca, me, and you got along when you liked Usyk. Don't you remember we were in a chat? Yeah, Mama Lou, hit that like button. Hit the like button. But yeah, you know, the betting's fun. I mean, but understand, he's the what's the odds? Let's check the odds of Danny Dubois versus Usyk. So let's see. What are the betting odds on Daniel Dubois versus Oleksandr Usyk, the rematch? All right, odds for the rematch. Okay, most bookmakers favor Usyk to win the rematch. Odds vary slightly depending on the sports book, but generally Usyk is listed as a negative 300 favorite, while Dubois is a plus 250 underdog. So I can understand why Show did that. It was an aggressive bet. Because see, let's say that everyone, including Lennox Lewis and other people, Lennox, he's looking for that next person to trump him, ironically, because, you know, see, it's plus 600 Lou Brown. Wow. Wow. I mean, I just looked up Google, they're not always accurate. You might need to check out TikTok, because TikTok is becoming like the shit now. It was a legal body shot. Uh-oh. Okay, back to what I was saying about Mr. Dubois and in that shot. I think their plan. I think the game plan for Danny Dubois versus Oleksandr Usyk. If you notice, Daniel threw a jab, but then got countered with a right jab by Usyk. But then Usyk then caught he felt that, uppercut. So Daniel was like, bah, boom, right? Now, let's say that shot would have been a right uppercut. Let's say that shot would have been a jab, then a feint to the body, and then come up with an uppercut. Because you guys remember how Dillian Whyte got knocked out? He got knocked out with a left uppercut, right? And I remember talking to Dean, Big Dean Whyte, his brother. He was explaining like he was trying to get to Dillian because he was like, bro, there is no reason he should be going to the body like that. And the only reason that he's doing that, he's trying to set something up. And that's exactly what happened. That's exactly what happened. See, Povetkin threw so many shots to the body that he had Dillian crouching. And when Dillian crouched the wrong way at the wrong time, he got caught with a left uppercut that he never saw. Now, we all know the kryptonite to Dillian Whyte is an uppercut or uppercuts. Left or right, it don't make any difference because he's been knocked out and dropped by both. It's 4 people that took Dillian Whyte down. In order, Anthony Joshua, then Oscar Rivas, then Alexander Povetkin, then Tyson Fury. Okay? And all of those guys have dropped Dillian Whyte with the same shot. Bow! Uppercut. He just can't handle them. He can't take those punches. Hopefully Dubois pushes him back and sticks it on him. Well, I think Dubois will go with a jab and a right uppercut upstairs instead of to the body. And I think that will be the shot that could take Usyk out. Because if Usyk gets hit with a shot with a right uppercut like that from Danny Dubois, he may go down. Now the question is, will he be sharp enough? Will his IQ be on point? Will he be at that defensive prowess to avoid that shot? But you see, look, if you can land that body shot, you can land that uppercut upstairs too. Because he landed it perfect. It was a good shot. I mean, the way they set it up, screw it, go to his body. Because Usyk moves his head like a windshield wiper, right? So why would we worry about that when we know where his body's going to be? You just jab upstairs, just to gauge where he's going to be. Right? Well, instead of going to that body, they may start doing that just to see what Usyk does, just to see how he reacts. Will he move? Will he move out of position for that punch? Will he use that lateral movement? Or will he take the high guard? Which Usyk's a pretty skittish dude when it comes to that. A lot of the punches and the shots are reflective movements. Reflective movements. I mean, if you jab, that's why he moves like that. So he's already in position to move, if that makes sense. It's almost like with Usyk, it's almost like driving a car down a 2-way lane, but you're trying to avoid, cars that are already parked, so you drive in the middle. That's what Usyk does. That's how Usyk That's how his defense is. So instead of being here or here, so he doesn't have to worry about doing this and doing that, he's already here so he can, so a lot of those shots, are barely catching or missing him when he's doing so. This will end earlier. Dubois doesn't want to confront why he lost. Yeah, he did get kind of jammed up in that face-off. I think when they asked him about that punch, I do think that that was kind of awkward for him. I don't think that he really cared to go in depth on that day, but I just find it amazing that he allowed Don Charles to do his thing, which Don Charles, hey man, it wasn't the best thing to do, but he did it nonetheless. Don Charles went where normal people didn't go. Even Tyson Fury didn't do that. Because Tyson Fury, one thing about Tyson Fury, he has respect for religions or deity, especially if it's his, and Don Charles is just, he's being the nastiest he can be, but, whatever works. Like I've said, people, it's whatever works. He's not caring about how bad it looks. He's not caring about being liked. Don Charles is trying to get some kind of edge. Because to me, looking at Usyk and his overall, he's bigger, I feel. He's muscular. I think he's trained harder. I look at the way he hits the bag. I think Usyk is going for a knockout. I think he wants to knock Danny Dubois out. That's what I do think. I think he wants to knock him out. Lane 88, you are a liar. You are a cheat. They're still talking like he's reading from a scroll. Yeah, dude, he's talking like he's on the Mount of Olives, right? Thou shalt not lie. But yeah, I mean, Daniel, he's, bro, look, here's the thing. I will say this about Daniel. If he's going to win, if it's going to be his time, it will be right now. It's not going to be 2 years from now. It's not going to be, no. Daniel, if he's going to beat Usyk, it has to be tomorrow. Period. If he's going to beat Usyk, it has to be tomorrow. And unfortunately for Daniel, if he's not ready, a lot of people are going to find out. But I think it's added pressure because his expectations, a lot of people think that, you know what, it's going to happen this way or no way at all. This time or no time at all. Because there won't be a third fight for Daniel. Daniel's not a Tyson Fury. There, unfortunately, may be a Tyson Fury versus Usyk. Because what Usyk's doing is, and I'm not liking this. Let me talk about Usyk for a minute. See, if Usyk beats Daniel Dubois, that means you've beat everybody twice. There is no need for a trilogy with none of those fighters. With AJ, with Tyson, nor Dubois. Unless Dubois does something tomorrow that gives him the right or the privilege to have another one. It has to be justified. But hell, if he beats Dubois convincingly this time, no controversy, it goes 12 rounds. He just beats Dubois up. He jabs and boxes his ass all around the ring with pressure, pivots, and lateral movement. There is no need for another one. So to have a Tyson Fury 3 and you're telling me that there ain't nobody else that you could possibly fight, that means you're doing exactly what Tyson Fury did. Why do you think Tyson Fury, I gave Tyson such a bad time? I gave him a hard time. I gave him criticizing ridicule. The reason I did that was because I seen what Tyson was doing. See, he wasn't fighting Joe Joyce when Joe Joyce was undefeated. Zilly Zhang, You know what I mean? He wasn't fighting those dudes because really Joe Joyce was that dude that everybody was afraid of because everybody saw firsthand when Tyson was all coked up, him and Shane watching his ass. He's seen firsthand that Joe Joyce was nobody to play with. He was a guy that had an unlimited gas tank. He was big as shit. You couldn't put him down. He had a hard chin, and he was running right through people. And he did Joseph Parker, a former WBO champion, and he knocked him around the ring like a rag doll. He took his shots, and then he gave him what he couldn't handle. And eventually, he took Joe down. Joe Parker was down in 11, and he wasn't getting up. That was over because he just beat him into submission. You know, but then, oh, let me fight Derek Chisora. The hell? You've already fought Derek Chisora twice. So I don't want Oleksandr Usyk because remember the last time he was like, I want Daniel. Well, maybe he wanted Daniel to get the IBF belt back. So I can kind of understand that. But what would justify the fact that you wanting to fight Tyson again just because Turkey said so? You know what I mean? No, I don't think so. I don't think that should be the case. I don't want to see Fury Usyk 3 and Parker being too nice. He needs to make a fuss because he's not even being given a chance to fight on this card. Frank has done him dirty. You know what? He could have fought on this card. That is right. He could have fought on this card to keep himself busy. The last time he fought was Mark McCauley in 2 rounds. The last time before that was Zhilei Zhang. When was that? When was that? Wasn't that like March of 2024? So this man went another 9 months, then another 2. Then he fought. And, you know, that kind of sounds like Wilder, really. You know what I mean? Wilder fought 2021. Then he fought once in 22. Then he went another. No. I mean, Joseph Parker. I do agree. Tony. I do agree, Tony. He should fall out. That was a few months ago, but then what? How long before that? He only fought 2 rounds, and it wasn't even 2 rounds. He knocked out McCauley in 2 rounds, or stopped McCauley in 2 rounds. However you want to slice it or dice it. The fight was over. He didn't get any rounds in. So, yeah, he should have been on this undercard, at least getting a check. Yeah, you know he's there. You know, and he's trying to train to keep himself busy, and he's you know, he's an island boy. You know, I mean, let's look at what's going on. He's 33 years of age. He's an island boy. Island people tend to grow a little. They spread a little thicker. They make them thicker over there. But if you add food, you get bigger than that. So, yeah, I mean, Joe, yeah, they doing Joe wrong because Joe is that guy he's not the dude. Do you understand that Joseph Parker did not supposed to beat Mark McCauley? Do you understand that Joseph Parker wasn't supposed to beat Zhilei Zhang? And I bet you this. I bet you the guys, Zhang and McCauley, they are more praised by Turkey than Joe. Joe's that dude he's in a situation. He didn't supposed to beat Wilder. Every one of his fights since 2023, he was not supposed to win and was not favored to win. He wasn't the favorite fighter. So he's a dude that has defied all odds. See, he's unlike Caballo. Caballo was just a guy that was in good fights with fighters that were undefeated or whatever. But Joseph Parker was in there with Wilder. Wilder's supposed to knock Parker out. Wilder was supposed to be in a different place. There was not supposed to be a damn Herndon fight. I don't even know about a Zhilei Zhang. He probably eventually had to fight Zhilei Zhang. But even then, that just showed you that how that was cut in line. That was cut. Because how the hell could Joseph Parker beat Zhilei Zhang and then Zhang goes on to fight Wilder? Wilder cut. Because that was supposed to have been a rematch. You remember those guys supposed to rematch? Zhilei Zhang and Joseph Parker? They're supposed to rematch. Parker gets no respect from nowhere. No. I don't know what's going on there. To be honest, Daniel is there because you gifted the IBF belt to make AJ Dubois. He did it before he was stripped, FYI. Well, actually, he did it right after that, but it was going to be done. So since it was going to be done, it was actually for Danny Dubois versus Philip Hergovic, because Philip Hergovic, you know, AJ had a chance to captivate it, but he didn't. I don't know. It was either two things. AJ didn't take him seriously, or AJ ain't that good no more. Or you just don't give a shit. He's not hungry, therefore he's not good. If you're not hungry, you're not going to be, and you're not going to fight on the level that you should. You're not going to get up for a fight if you're not hungry for a fight. But back to for Joseph Parker, I do think, and I would like this actually. I would respect this because this makes sense. Joseph Parker and Tyson Fury should fall out. They should fall out. They should have some kind of quarrel based on business, based on respect of person. But that's all this is. It's a respect of person. It's a situation where, why are you talking about? If I'm Joseph Parker, I'm like, why the hell are they talking about Tyson Fury? I mean, he's my boy and all, but fuck him. Fuck Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury got his ass whooped by Usyk twice, and I can't get one shot at Usyk once. I just want one shot. Shit, he got two. Now he's talking about getting the third shot, and I ain't got my shot. Look what they did to me with Danny Dubois. Dubois will fight dirty if he feels hurt. Yeah, I agree, because Fury got no real respect for Parker. I mean, he can't. Tyson Fury can't have no real respect for Parker because he ain't talking about Parker. And to keep it a buck with you guys, even when Parker beat McCauley, even when Parker beat Deontay Wilder, look, Tyson Fury was very moderate. You would think that he would be super stoked to see Joseph Parker. You know what I mean? Do what he did, but he wasn't. He was kind of like, yeah, shout out to my boy, Joseph Parker, for getting the job done. Get up. That's it. Like, I'm like, damn, that's it. I know you guys hung around and drank pints after pints after pints. Honestly, I think Tyson Fury's a bad influence on Joseph Parker, to keep it a buck. Can't believe a fighter. Can't believe a fighter like Joseph Parker has been going through all this crap. Some things are wrong back in the back lines. Controlling everything typically by the boxing industry. Well, here's the thing though. Babsy 627. He ain't the only one. Look at Michael Hunter. Michael Hunter's been drugged through the mud. This cat ain't had a fight since last year or some shit. He's fighting next month on a Don King card. Yes, another fucking pay-per-view. Yeah. Yeah. Fury didn't fight Klitschko too. No, he didn't. But I mean, because that was a thing, and that was a fight that he knew that more than likely he would lose the rematch. It's the WBO and the WBC turn to title shot. Yeah, it is, but I mean, you have to stay active if you're going to. You have to stay active to stay sharp, and I don't think that he's that way. I'm from New Zealand, bro. Watching Parker for the last 2 years has been great and horrible at the same time. Good wins, no outcomes. Yeah, he ain't got the respect. I just hope he's getting the cash. Only in America, baby, wants a few more bucks before he dies. Hey, Bill knows boxing. Be careful on that. I've learned we can't use age as a prejudice, and I'm going to tell you why. There are people every single day, 42, 39, 34, 47, 53, 55, 48, 22, 27, 41 have just died. sportsmen, YouTubers, actresses, actors, all these people, everyone dies. So to say, oh man, he's going to do this before he dies, just because he's 90, he'll be 94 in August. That doesn't mean that that's, age doesn't define your death. Look at Bob Arum. Look at William Shatner. This motherfucker's almost 100 years old. Star Trek original. So, dude, I can't, I don't do that any longer. I had a cousin, right? And this cousin lived in the country. And he always said, younger guy, he always said, you know what? Because we had an older cousin, like our great grandfather's first cousin or something. He's older. He was older. And he was like damn near, he was in his 80s. And my cousin was like, he was like, look, when he dies, I'm going to go over there and get all of his cows. You're going to see the biggest stampede herd in this countryside. Wait till he dies. Wait. What ended up happening? It's 2025, right? So 9 years ago, that same cousin had a stroke, died the day after Christmas of 2016, right? And that cousin that was 85 is now 94. So it just goes to show you, man, his cows, cows, horses. Yeah, he lived in the country. He's a farmer. So understand, the age thing, don't look at that. Don't depend on that. It ain't the, be all and end all. Oh, he's old, so he's going to die soon. That doesn't mean that. Because obviously when someone gets that old, there's a reason they're that old. They're that reliable, right? So it is what it is. Look at this. Wow. Hold on a second. What the hell is this about? American Idol double murder crime scene photos revealed at the $5 million home. 3 minutes. Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm ready for it. St. John, I don't think so. Usyk wants 2 more fights. Well, the 2 more fights, man, I think it's crucial because I don't believe in, he deserves no, not when you're an undisputed heavyweight champion. And I'm going to tell you why. The guy that we always go back and forth, me and Lennox Lewis, we don't like each other, but I do respect what Lennox Lewis did before he got out of the fight game. He fought the mandatory. See, if he would have did what people want Usyk to do, he would have took an easy fight. He wouldn't have fought the mandatory. He would have ducked Vitali, and we wouldn't have saw what we would have ever seen because Lennox Lewis retired. See, some people retire and they're actually retired. Unlike, Tyson. Tyson made retirement a bereavement time. But no, some people actually say, hey, I'm getting out of the sport, and they actually do. Andre Ward. They actually get out of the sport. They actually, make their words mean something. No, I'm going to retire. And they do. And then it's like, okay, then everything is a comic book. Everything is a what if. Well, damn, man. Well, what if Usyk would have fought Kabayel? Or what if Usyk would have fought Bakali, man? What if this would have happened? What if you'd have fought Zhang, man? What could Zhang do in those 6 rounds, man? What could happen? What could happen? What if? So it is what it is. Big day tomorrow. Boxing all day and night. Yeah, man. Yeah. So I got to get some sleep tonight. I got 5 videos that I haven't posted yet. And I got 5 more to do today. What's it got to do, right? Usyk has the stamina and the work rate of younger guys and keeps on saying that he's old. he's old. No, he's not. Like he said yesterday, they keep on calling me old, and I'm not old. I'm constantly in shape. Well, people find out the hard way, and then unfortunately for Daniel, if he feels that he's worn and torn and he gets beat, it's going to make him look worse because, this is an old guy. So if you labeled Usyk an old guy and the old guy whoops your ass and does you like he did a couple years ago, you're in trouble because it's hard to kind of dig yourself out of a situation where you put yourself in. If you put someone and you dog someone, why Belonga, you haven't heard anything from him. You haven't heard diddly from Belonga because Belonga talks so much shit about Hamza being not this and being not that, and he doesn't deserve to be on my level because I was in there with Canelo. I was in there 12 rounds with the greatest fighter and all this, that, and the other, and he got his ass destroyed in 5. That's why you haven't heard from him at all. At all. So I employ Daniel not to go down that same road because, it's hard to get out of. It is hard to get out of. Richard S., those three fights were crap. AJ is washed. Miller, 300 pounds. Hard hitter, but slow, and Hrgovic is lazy when it comes to training. They're not fantastic. Sorry. Ooh. I mean, I think this is the true test. I think the true test comes now because it's fair to say that this is what matters. This is first of all, it's for all the belts. Second of all, it's to show that he is truly changed based on the style that stopped him last. See, he never fought Miller before, or Hrgovic, or AJ, or whatever was wrong with him on that night. He never fought him anyway, so it's easy for someone to say they've changed. I've been saying the same shit about Canelo Alvarez. See, if Canelo gets his ass spanked by Terrence Crawford, that means he's just not good with elite fighters and elite guys that are his size, that can move, that can box, can beat Canelo. You know what I mean? I'm trying to remind people, Canelo is not that good, when it comes to certain styles. Neither is Dubois. But hey, let's see what Lennox is saying.
Where Danny Dubois is right now. I think he's gone through a lot of trials and tribulations. I think he's grown as a fighter. He's not going to be the same fighter that he was 18 months ago. And I think he believes in himself a lot more than 18 months ago. And he's looking to, to crush Usyk. He's looking to win this fight. He wants it so bad. He was about this close the last time. So this time he just has to cross the bridge.
Everyone does these mythical matchups, and your name now is always linked to Oleksandr Usyk. How would Lennox have done with Oleksandr Usyk? When you see him stylistically southpaw in and out, how would you have handled him, Lennox?
Let me tell you, he's a great fighter. He's got tremendous talent, great IQ in the ring. I think he would have been a great matchup, me and him. I would have loved to fight a guy like that.
But you would have beaten him, right?
Of course.
Just checking. Just checking with the answer. I was like, is old Lennox still around? He certainly is.
You don't lose that fight, do you? Going back to the Dubois' opportunity here, what does he have to do different? What didn't he do in that first fight?
What he has to do different, he has to start first and finish last. basically go after him, like command the ring. He's the true heavyweight. You know, make sure he throws more punches than his opponent. You know, his opponent's going to be running around the ring, jumping around. He's got to cut off the roots and push him to the ropes with his jab, and then take advantage of him. Simple as that.
You know, when they talk about Dubois' mental strength, and that's something that's been brought up for ages now, since that Joe Joyster thing. When you look at him from afar, are you seeing someone that is so much more mentally stronger because of maybe the last 3 victories?
Yeah, no, he's grown as a boxer, he's grown as an athlete, and he's grown as a champion. Now he knows he can reach. He can be the champion of the world. He can be an undisputed champion. The guy that's there, he knocked down. So all he has to do is step it up.
You've had all those belts. What's it like? Honestly, I mean, these guys have won belts before, but what's it like when you have every single belt dropped around you? How's that feel?
Feels good. It feels like it belongs.
It's going to be incredible, isn't it, though?
Yeah.
I mean, when you do look at Daniel Dubois, he has grown a lot, hasn't he, in the last 18 months? You see it when he's screaming in front of Usyk's face. He would never have done that a couple of years ago.
Undoubtedly, he's a much better fighter than he was when they first fought, and you can see that his confidence is on a different level. I think Igis, that's his name, isn't it?
Yeah.
I got it right.
Trust yourself, Carl.
Yeah.
Trust yourself.
He said yesterday that you can't kind of train your mentality, but I think you can, and it's clear that Daniel is a different person mentally, and for that reason he had the chance. But in my opinion, he's still an underdog in this fight, and I think that Usyk's a bit of a genius. I think he works them all out. I think he just figures a way and he finds a way to win. And people keep talking about Daniel's run of form. They're not talking about Usyk's. Fury, Daniel, AJ. It's not bad, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, it is solid. All right, let's remind you of what we've got coming your way this Saturday. It is a fantastic fight card. So many intriguing battles as well.
So, let me counter Mr. The Jackal, right? Carl, I do agree. I think Igis Khalid was saying, "Oh well, you can't train the mind." Hell yeah, you can train the mind. The mind is trainable. If that was the case, nobody would be able to overcome anything that they went through. They would crumble because their mind can't handle whatever. Because it's only your mind can. You can train your mind, absolutely. But yeah, Igis Khalid was. I think he was trying to say like, hey, you know, when he gets pushed again, like the same thing. Don't bruise the horses or don't push the horses. You know, I never heard that saying, but I know it was explained to me yesterday. Don't expect someone to do something that they're not equipped to do. Lennox could never match what Usyk has done his whole career. He's a jealous sob. Well, I think Lennox Lewis was the king for a long time. You know, he had that one snag with Hassan Rahman. So I do think, you know, and he got that back. So Lennox Lewis, I mean, he had adversity because he fought through 2 decades. You know, well, it stretched to through 2 decades. Let's say that.
Oh, what he's going through, what he's feeling, just the satisfaction of being a winner and completing his goals.
All right, great to have Lennox with us. All right, Thomas Tryban, everyone is on stage with us, the backstage. Let's throw it down to Thomas to get these weigh-ins underway.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the official weigh-in for undisputed Usyk versus Dubois 2, a great night of World Championship Boxing tomorrow from Wembley Stadium in London, England. It is being brought to you by Frank Warren, Fort Queensberry, with Ready to Fight, along with their great sponsors, Riot Season, The Ring Magazine, GG Bet, SNU, and Global Next Trade. A big thanks to those great sponsors. Well, a reminder, ladies and gentlemen, this great event will be broadcasted live worldwide on DAZN by now at DAZN.com. And now, London, England. The time has arrived. Let's get the weigh-in process started. Our first two fighters competing tomorrow in a scheduled 6-round super lightweight contest. First, from Liverpool, England. His professional record, 7 wins, just 1 defeat, with 1 win coming by way of knockout. Let's welcome James Two Dogs Francis.
Okay, so yeah, we're gonna mute that for the copyright purposes because you know they have their own intro music and all that good stuff. So I never heard of this opponent. You know, and here's the crazy thing. We're gonna have to go from one fight right into the other, I feel, because I think this one's over at 5. We may have an hour in between. Pacquiao fighting, because I do really want to see I want to see Tim Tszyu knock out Fondora, and it can be done. It can be done. You know, who cares about Usyk? Usyk. St. Don, maybe so. I liked Lennox as a fighter, just hate his arrogance way of thinking. Well, I mean, that's just Lennox. I mean, he's not even cool with it. He's just like a prick. I don't like it either, but I never did. You know? Bruley versus Francis, okay. Okay, so we have Isaac Cruz versus Angel Hierro 2. Brandon Figueroa versus Joet Gonzalez. Gary Russell Jr. versus Hugo Castaneda. David Picasso versus Kayosuke Kameda. And Mark Magsayo versus Jorge Mata. Abel Ramos versus Jose Luis Sanchez. Omar versus Brian Gallegos.
And now we welcome
Lathan is fighting. The Ukrainian cat, right? I don't like how the Yanks speak English. That's okay. Where's your bronze bomber? Stop bullying me. That's a hell of a word there. Gary Russell Jr. is still fighting. I guess, man. I don't know. Maybe he's talking about his brother because all of them's name is like Gary. Wayne 88. When he says Yank, he's talking about an American. You know, some people think that, you know, when they say Yank, they mean American, which that's New York, you know, like every fucking body. New York is one state in the United States on top of one city in the state. Yeah, it's incredible. Ahmed versus Gregores. All right. Cockneys say septic. Tank equals yank. LOL. Mm. Yeah. Stop bullying me. Yeah, you do really need to chill, dude. You're just talking shit at people, and you're not even talking about boxing. You're just talking a bunch of shit. You know. You know.
And now let's welcome, coming to us from Team Ukraine, undefeated with 22 wins, 19 of his 22 wins coming by way of knockout. Let's welcome Vladislav.
That's crazy. 60 people dropped out of here when this shit started. I said, damn the commentary. It's like, you know what? We're going to watch the actual weigh-in. English have nicknames for everyone. It's a term of endearment. Yep. Yeah, I think that's a good call. I got the double monitor set up for you in the weigh-ins. Appreciate you, Lou Brown.
256 pounds, 3 ounces for the undefeated Ukrainian Vladislav Surenko. This one, Darren, to go any which way. One of the makers coming in on relatively short notice. That's the best physically I've ever seen him look. He looks really good at 235. He really does. He looks solid. I mean, first of all, the movie and the nuggets coming off champions the feet. This looks like a one. Some people don't think they're going to slowly. This is a real fight.
Yeah, who are these people? Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's crazy.
Two fighters competing tomorrow in a scheduled 10-round contest. It will be for the IBF Intercontinental, the WBA Continental, and the vacant WBO International Light Heavyweight Championship. Let's first welcome to the scale the challenger from Southampton, Hampshire, England. Undefeated with 11 wins, 3 wins come by way of knockout. He is the current British and Commonwealth light heavyweight champion. Let's welcome Lewis the Snake Stevenson.
Pac-Man should fight for free. He said he doesn't need the money. No one should have to pay to watch it. I mean, obviously they're squeezing that shit though. Yeah, he'll say that, but people that are handling it want to get paid for off the back of Pacquiao, so that ain't gonna happen. Kurt, I've got to go to the pub tomorrow for a birthday bash. Will be interesting to see who real life English are supporting. I'm betting Dubois. Akali winning. I'm not sure. I think if he can keep Kevin back, he can beat Kevin. But if he gets clipped, because he can get caught with a nice nasty hook on the inside to mid range, because that's Kevin Ladena. Kevin Ladena had Danny Dubois all shook up. That was when Danny Dubois was in his dark place. There he is, right? Daniel Lapin, yeah, he's a rangy little cat. He reminds me of Steve Fox from Tekken. Yeah. Now, I don't know his opponents. I don't know anything about him. So, there you go. Edmondson. Let's go. Great fight. This will be. Pac-Man trying to squeeze blood out of a turnip. Yeah, man. Pacquiao tripping. And it's just bad because Pacquiao's just bored. He's bored of sitting at home with his children and stuff like that. It just shows you how addictive the sport is. I heard Brandon Rios said one of the craziest things ever when he compared boxing to sex. He said boxing to him is like busting a nut. It's crazy. I'm like, damn, really? Really? That dude there. Poor bastard. I haven't seen Brandon Rios in 7 years. And it's crazy how someone like Brandon Rios, Brandon Bam Bam Rios, you don't hear about him at all no more. I haven't heard anything from Brandon Rios. Brandon Rios made that Pacquiao money, and then he started getting beat, and then Brandon was like, he got knocked out by Danny Garcia. Because I remember when he left Top Rank and went over to the PBC, and then, see, the PBC had all those welterweights. So, here's the thing about Danny Garcia. Danny Garcia was a guy that never went down either. And Brandon Rios was just, I don't think he was a welterweight, honestly. I think he was more of a lightweight, junior welter, to say the least. But yeah. St. Don, you and Fury should hang out at the pub together. Excuse me. Yeah, that would be dope. That would be dope, man. The person that signed off on a Pacquiao fight should be arrested and beaten for authorizing the fight. No, not if it's Manny Pacquiao. It's Manny Pacquiao, so people want to make money off of Manny Pacquiao. But I do agree, the people that should go to jail are the people that are signing this fight to get done with contracts and such, because they're all getting a piece out of it. The promoters, the managers, the team, everybody. Shit, the government, everybody's getting that money. Everybody's getting a piece of that fight purse. The fight purse is just separated like a pie.
You want the public to see you. You want that right now. You're eager.
Do you rush to work to impress? Maybe too much because you want to get the knockouts and you want to look impressive?
Well, I would say the adrenaline level is very high, and you're out there. Obviously, you don't want to get hit. You don't want to get embarrassed. You want to look good. And sometimes, the script doesn't really go towards the way how you're looking at it. So you got to make the script. You got to make it work towards the way you want it to go. Like
Lewis could still beat Usyk right now. Okay.
He's got to impose himself on Alexander.
I wouldn't say that shit. I know he could, he probably beat the shit out of somebody like me. But nah, Usyk, nah, I wouldn't do that.
Oleksandr Usyk coming to his house.
Yeah, indeed. All right, let's welcome someone into our house.
Yeah.
The great Frank Warren is here.
What's happening? Yeah.
How are you, Frank? Good. In the middle. Frank, incredible turnout, isn't it? I mean, we knew it was going to be, but when you see it, I've said that as well, Frank. Everyone's asking for his autograph below me, but when you look at the numbers there, just on top of us, down below, on a Friday afternoon when everyone should be at work, it's not a bad turnout, is it?
Listen, this is a big fight. It's captured everybody's imagination, and it's going to be a great fight. It will be a great fight. We've nigh sold out now. It's going to be marvelous tomorrow night. You're going to see two guys in there who've shared a ring together. They know each other intimately, and it's going to be who or can Daniel change what he did last time. And I believe he can.
So let's go back to last time, nearly 2 years ago. Obviously, a completely different Daniel Dubois back then. Went into that fight with obviously hope, but really and truly, I think everyone thought Oleksandr Usyk was almost unbeatable at the time. How would you grade Daniel's performance on that night?
How would I grade it?
Yeah.
I thought all what the plan was came about, the blood body shot. And then after that big break with the referee and calling nearly 4 minutes out, he just lost it. He lost the fight. You know, he didn't stay focused, and I just think for whatever reason it was, he just lost.
For whatever reason, he lost.
Yeah. And but having said that, for me, it's a coming of age fight for him, because we had a good sit down afterwards, and we said to him, if you want to be a champion, if you want to be the best, you've got to beat the best. And you can't be complaining or worrying about referees or judges. One referee, one judge in either hand. You go out there in the other guy's backyard, and you've got to do what you've got to do. And the proof's been in the pudding since 3 magnificent stoppages against well-ranked fighters, and done it in great style.
Yeah, the only question I wanted is, what does he need to do in this fight that's different than he did before? And do you think he's grown since that and learned?
I hope he's grown. I believe he's more confident.
He said, I hope he's grown.
He
Hell.
needs to control the fight. He needs to push him on the back foot. He's not so good going backwards. That's what I've been saying. Which is, we know our business. He's not so good going backwards. He's got to use that jab. But what Usyk will do, as soon as that first bell goes, he will come out and try and put it on him. He did it with Tyson. He did it with Joshua. He doesn't back off. He wants to come forward. So he's got to meet him in the center of the ring and control it. Use the jab, relax.
I emphasize again, it is free to join my community.
Look at Frank. Look at Frank dropping down, dropping his boxing knowledge.
Usyk fight, but the best one obviously has to be AJ right here, Wembley Stadium, where he walks in as a big underdog. People booing him in, they cheer him out. This was an incredible performance from Daniel.
Oh yeah, it was his nut. But he won the fight in the very first round. The first meaningful jab he threw, and he snapped his head off, and he knocked him down at the end of that round.
You know, I look at that fight and I cringe. You know, I look at AJ versus Dubois, and I'm thinking to myself, like, dude, like, bro, AJ, man, what the hell did AJ do before he got in that fight? You know, like what did he do? Like, did he party? Did he get laid? Well, you know what I mean? Because he fought like a dude that just was a shell of himself at 35. Matter of fact, he wasn't even 35. He was 34. That was just crazy, man. It was just crazy. But he knocked AJ's ass out. And I'm thinking to myself, like, man, you know, and here's the thing. The problem is, like, when AJ knocked out Klitschko looked good against AJ. So if you're going to get beat, at least get beat in a competitive way. Don't get your ass whooped from rounds 1 to round 5. You know what I mean? Like, that's just unacceptable, bro. I'm sorry. It's unacceptable. That's unacceptable, bro. But Luca, we're talking about now they're here, and now can you give some credit?
Whatever they are, they're all going to get their opportunity. We're going to keep this heavyweight scene going. They're going to fight regularly. They're going to earn their money and deliver the exciting fights. The heavyweight division's never been so much on fire for years now as it is.
I love it as well, by the way. I see Agate Cavill there.
Froze like a deer.
Joseph Parker's going to go. Everyone's waiting for the show. Lennox, get the gloves back on, Lennox. Get the gloves back on. It can happen. All right, let's continue with the way.
Roll the dice, Davis.
Our next two fighters competing tomorrow in our co-main event is
Okay.
for 10 rounds, and it will be for the WBC Silver Heavyweight Championship. Let's first welcome the challenger coming to us from Johannesburg, South Africa. He brings a professional record of 31 wins, 3 defeats, with 15 of his 31 wins coming by way of knockout. He is the former IBO Bridgerweight World Champion and the current WBC Bridgerweight World Champion. Let's welcome Kevin Two Guns Lorena. And now let's welcome the defending champion from London, England. A 2016 Olympian, now with a professional record of 21 wins, just 1 defeat, 16 of his 21 wins coming by way of knockout. He is the former 2-weight world champion, and tomorrow, the reigning and defending WBC Silver Heavyweight Champion, Lawrence the Sauce Okolie.
I don't like it either, bro. Just some bullshit.
Kevin Lorena.
Fucking Bridgerweight.
£232,
232 pounds. That's a fucking heavyweight. Isn't Bridgerweight supposed to have been like this? I don't know, bro. That's just some bullshit to me. You're 230 pounds, bro. That's 10 pounds lighter than I am. I'm like 240. Fuck out of here. No, no way. It could only go 2 ways. Well, no, 3. 262? This motherfucker's almost 270, bro. 262 pounds, bro. That dude is massive. That dude is massive. He's 30 more pounds over Kevin Ledena. The same Ledena that put Daniel Dubois' ass down 3 times and almost gave Frank Warren a stroke. What? Okay, what's the difference of Bridgerweight? And you know what the difference is? Sanctioning fees. He wants money for championships because he knows that he can ask for more money for championship belts because championship fights are more than regular fights. He knows what the hell he's doing. Mauricio's a crook, bro. He's always a crook. And I think it's another sanctioning body that's actually accepting this shisa. What is it? I think it's the WBA, I believe. I think the WBA, Mr. Paco and them. Yeah.
Wait, Davey, let's hear from the source now. He's on stage with Dan Marco.
That's more than Usyk. Hell yeah, they're bigger, dude. And Bridgerweight. Like, what's the point? What are you making a weight class for? Just to call another title a loophole for you to make more money? I think so.
Now I'm fully fueled, fully ready for an explosive night.
2 back-to-back first rounds.
He'll knock out Ledena, though.
What are you
He'll knock out
expecting to
Ledena.
happen Saturday night?
I'm prepared for 10 hard rounds.
But he could get clipped by shorter shots.
Very, very close now to realising the dream of fighting for the heavyweight world title. What would that opportunity mean to you?
Yes, everything. I'm trying to be a 3-weight world champion, and all roads lead to Saturday, so let's get it done.
Final prediction?
Lawrence Okolie stoppage.
Thanks, sir.
That's what Fury weighed in the second fight with Usyk. It's crazy.
Come to the UK to disrupt the heavyweight division. What's going to go on in there tomorrow?
Disruption, chaos. I tell you what, Lawrence Okolie is a terrific opponent. He's a terrific fighter. I've got immense amounts of respect for him.
262 pounds. Bro, that's crazy.
His chin, he's going to sit.
Listen, you've been to the UK before and you've been in with some great heavyweights, Daniel Dubois, Justice Hooney. You've shown you can hurt them. but can you finish Lawrence Okolie tomorrow night?
If I hurt him and I get the opportunity, it's my duty to finish him. Like I said, a mammoth task ahead of us. I'm no fool. The smaller man, we're going to see an explosive fight. Just want to give a massive thanks to Queensbury Promotions, Frank Warren, George Warren, Spencer Brown, Goldstar, Peter Smith. Thank you for the opportunity. And shout out to London. You've been amazing. Thank you.
All right, best of luck. Let's hear it for Kevin Lorena.
I love that. Both men promising knockout. Someone's lying. Someone's going to get knocked out in that fight. But I have a feeling it doesn't go the distance. Hopefully they reinforce this for because we've added about 260 pounds with us as well. Joseph Parker is with us. Joseph, a lot of people saying, how are you?
There's old Spidey.
Somehow in the mix. What's going on?
I would have loved the opportunity to be fighting on this card. Fighting anyone and everyone. I think Lennox was saying to me, you gotta say more things.
Yeah.
You do.
I try and say it.
There's a lot. Yeah, but hopefully, I mean, the winner of this potentially.
Hopefully, the winner of this or anyone in the top 5. I just want to.
I wouldn't even be talking about the top 5. Yeah. Damn that. I'll be talking about the crown, bro. Fuck all that. Anyone, no.
Once a year.
I love it. There you go. Speak to the camera. Frustration from Joseph Parker. Hopefully,
he's pissed because they ain't doing it right.
And then they're very busy. 2026. All right, let's focus on this one. Moments away from the weigh-in.
Okay, let me. Yeah, we've heard what Joseph has said. Joseph is mad, but he can't. He's not. I'm not gonna call Joseph soft because he's not soft. He's just not the type of dude. He's not wired and not mad enough to make a stink because he's not that dude. But yeah, he's getting ran over, man. You know what I mean? And you know, a closed mouth don't get fed, bro. He has to run his mouth. If he had a mouthpiece like Jarrell Miller, he would be fighting everybody because he would make it happen. Yeah, he's just not a shit talk. He's just not that dude, you know. And he's just like, dude, I would love to be on this undercard. Instead of saying, why these motherfuckers didn't put me on the undercard? I'm the WBO interim champion. Why don't I? You know, I knocked out the Boogeyman. I knocked McCauley's ass out. I did what Effie couldn't even do in 10 rounds. I didn't do. So why the hell I'm not on this card making a check? I'm tired of you guys fucking around, and I'm tired of you guys treating me like I'm a second-class citizen. I'm the former WBO heavyweight champion. God damn it. What are you doing? I would be saying stuff like that. Yeah, exactly. If he could promote himself, he can't. He doesn't have that. He doesn't have that. I'm sorry. He just doesn't have that. He's just, you know, a soft-spoken guy. And see, unfortunately, if Joseph ever lost, nobody would care anyway. Because, hey, his reign is over. He wasn't exciting enough to really for us to keep our attention because he's not exciting enough to be loved or hated. See, Jarrell Miller, there's a lot of people that like Jarrell Miller, but there's a lot of people that hate Jarrell Miller. But between the two extremes, people want to see him. Either they want to see him get his ass whooped because he was a drug cheat, or they want to see him win because he can talk a bunch of shit getting it in. That's it. Parker KO the problem child, McCauley for nothing. Yeah, for nothing.
To what is considered by many to be the greatest venue for sports and entertainment in the world, Wembley Stadium, London, England. It's champion versus champion, ladies and gentlemen, as we turn the page to another chapter in heavyweight history. 12 rounds of boxing for the greatest title in sports, undisputed heavyweight championship of the world. And it's all brought to you by the International Boxing Hall of Fame promoter, Mr. Frank Warren for Queensbury Promotions, along with Ready to Fight. And sponsored by Riyadh Season, Ring Magazine, GG Bet, SNU, better pronounced as SNU, and Global Next Trade. And it's broadcast live worldwide on DAZN. So at this time, ladies and gentlemen, champion versus champion, let's bring the two champions to the stage and to the scales for their official weigh-in for 12 rounds of boxing for the undisputed heavyweight championship of the world. Coming to the stage first with an outstanding record on August 1st.
Oh my God. Make your money, DAZN. Damn. How many? How many? Whatever. Whatever. They're making that shit.
IBF heavyweight champion of the world, Triple D, Daniel Dynamite Dubois.
Triple D. Triple D. Triple D. Bill knows boxing. Miller doesn't deserve the payday, but he deserves the ass kicking. Well, you got to give them both. You can't deprive someone from their job without paying them, you know, just because you want to see them bleed because you don't like them. You got to give it to them.
Knockout, a two-division world champion, former undisputed cruiserweight world champion, current Ring Magazine champion, the reigning, defending WBC, WBA, WBO, IBO heavyweight champion of the world from Ukraine. He is Oleksandr
Usyk. I mean, you hear some boos in there. You have some.
Stepping onto the scales first, Triple D.
Let's go.
He is Daniel Dynamite Dubois, the IBF champion.
What's that? What's that? What's that?
243.8 pounds for the reigning and defending IBF heavyweight champion, Triple D. Next onto the scales, the reigning and defending WBC, WBA, WBO, IBO heavyweight world champion, fighting for and representing the sovereign nation of Ukraine, Oleksandr Usyk. 227 pounds, 0.3.
Oh, wow.
Pardon me, that's 3 ounces. 227 and 3 ounces. Champion versus champion. 90,000 fans at Wembley Stadium tomorrow night here in London.
Well, here we go, people.
Undisputed heavyweight champion of the world.
So,
This is it, right? This is the face-off. Oleksandr Usyk slightly heavier. What's going on in these moments?
227 to 243. It looked like Dubois grew.
He's ready for this fight. Obviously, Oleksandr Usyk is always ready because he's the
Dubois steps up a little bit more. Look at him.
other than that, these guys
Gritting his teeth.
there's gonna be some explosions and fireworks. So I'm ready.
Look at him, and he snatched his head off. You know, Dubois like. Dubois hit you with that. Chatty wanted to go higher than 227. It was right. Most ever heavyweight is a 226 fighting Fury. Bingo. He's not stupid. Kurt is the heaviest. Is this the heavy? Yeah, I think so. Is it heavy as he ever came in? What does it mean? I don't know. I think it's a combination of age. But I think he was going to be heavier because I think that Usyk's coming in to prove a point. I think he's coming in to stop Daniel. You know what I mean? And I think if anybody that has the confidence to stop Daniel, to make him bow, is Usyk. He's got to keep that speed. He's not stupid. That man's got to have an IQ at least 150. That's my man, my Ukrainian mastermind. Counterpunch to you, Babsy. Usyk by KO.
Right now, Daniel.
I'm locked in, I'm focused, I can't wait.
You will have over 90,000 people there tomorrow. The nation is backing you. They want a new undisputed champion. One question, are you going to knock him out?
I'm going to win by any means necessary.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it. Daniel Dynamite Dubois.
Triple D! Triple D! Triple D!
Yeah. One more fight from becoming a three-time undisputed world champion. What does this opportunity mean to you?
For me, it's a great opportunity for my people and my country. Thank you for Jesus Christ and Virgin Maria. See you in tomorrow. Thank you so much. Slava Ukraini!
Slava Ukraini! Let me tell you something. I don't care about what anybody says. That team that Usyk has is brilliant. Mamblu, I'd rather listen to the worst mumble rappers that the U.S.
There you
has
go.
to offer.
Man, a few words, Oleksandr Usyk, but we always know that it's action in the ring. Both of them look really fun.
He said any means necessary. He hasn't got a
early
clue.
on Saturday.
Oh my goodness, I can't wait. These guys are ready. They've been in camp for so long. They just want to get out of camp and box. They want each other. Carl?
Yeah, I mean, Usyk, you can see it change in Usyk as the fight week progresses, and we're getting close, only 1 day away now, but there's a moment where he becomes a little bit more serious, and he looks serious now. Daniel, I think, has been seems like he's been pent up the whole weekend, and he's someone that's ready to be let off the leash. Well, that's a good thing so far out, or a bad thing, I'm not quite sure. Maybe using a little bit too much energy, but both these guys want to fight right now.
Daniel Dubois weighed 248 pounds against Anthony Joshua. He's coming at 243. Is that on purpose? Is that just a case of fight camping, you've lost weight, or are they trying to go for a bit of speedier and try and trim?
No, you already know. They don't need all that heavy. Like, he's fighting a smaller heavyweight. So what the hell does he need weight for? You see what I mean? You need to get rid of some weight. You need to shrink. You need to shred. You need to get rid of things that extra weight. You don't need that shit fighting a smaller guy. You need to be smaller fighting a smaller guy. Even AJ had to learn that. You can't come in at 252 pounds talking about fighting Oleksandr Usyk. He's gonna box you, get you tired, and then beat you up, and then may make you quit. Yeah, he's losing that shit for speed, man. Yeah, absolutely.
Not giving too much room to run around, and I throw my jab, I throw my punches to hit it, because I'm a harder puncher.
XK shots in the building. What's up, brother? Counterpunch to you.
Going into a fight where a guy's moving around and you're not hitting him, you got to plan to hit him. You got to set traps and force him against the ropes and do some damage.
We've got the entrance stats to show you, especially from the first fight. One of the key things that Daniel needs to improve, and Frank spoke about it as well, as his jab.
Yes.
In the first fight, it was non-existent. He couldn't land that jab against Oleksandr Usyk. I think we're going to show you now. He couldn't land that jab against Oleksandr Usyk. How does he land that jab? Because that could be key, because his jab is like...
Well, I mean, Daniel does if you notice Daniel, his jab is like a peppered, see, he'll do a double jab, double jab, and then if he lands the double jab, any of those double jab sequences, he's coming with something else behind it. I've saw Daniel Dubois a lot, and he was using his head in that exchange. He's trying to get in there. Daniel say by any means necessary. What that tells me, Daniel's coming to cheat a bit. He's planning to do some cheap shit. Bars. That's what he's planning to do. He ain't planning to come in any means necessary. He's coming in there to do whatever he needs to do to win. Meaning cheating, low blows, headbutts, bump, what do you call that?
Absolutely.
I forget what you call that when you get hit with your shoulder. But yeah, he's gonna come in at any means necessary. I felt bad. I felt bad to leave you, Kurt. I wanted to see that, but it goes to show you I'm here for you. give me my crown back. I don't know. I don't know how to give you your crown. I don't know anything about a crown. I saw it, and because I'm using StreamYard, so I don't know. I have no idea. But if I find out a way, I will definitely put it on.
And from the center of the ring, so I think there's going to be a real battle for the center of the ring. Who's going to try and control the fight and dictate?
Yeah, see, Daniel was just done, bro. He was done in round 9. After Daniel went down the first time, he was done. So he got took down in round 8. After that, he was done. It wasn't nothing left in Dubois no more, because he was like, dude, I'm starting to get hit with shots. I'm not even seeing. I'm not feeling this shit no more. I'm in a dark place. All this, all of that. So, yeah, I mean, Usyk didn't even talk about that. But, I mean, to be fair, they didn't say nothing to Usyk either. They didn't even ask Usyk, like, yo, what are you planning to do? How do you feel? This, that, and the other. He was like, look, I just thank the Lord Jesus Christ and his mother, and I will see you guys tomorrow. That's it. And then he said something in Ukrainian, and he pulled up them 3 for the Ukrainian symbol of peace and freedom of whatever, and then he left. Stage left. He was done. So.
More from that first fight than Daniel. Knows he can hurt him, because whether you call it a low blow or not, he knows if he gets close, he can do a little bit of damage. But Usyk's the boy, isn't he? He's unbelievable.
He really is.
Boy! Boy! Yeah.
In and around sort of the belly area with him. They've all tried to go to the body, and some have made it successful. I think Tyson Fury hurt Oleksandr Usyk to the body. That's where Daniel's got to go, isn't he? He's got to try and attack this body to slow the leg down a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Oleksandr Usyk showed that he's got that weakness to the body.
Christopher,
he went down to the body.
Kurt, what if Daniel knocks him out? Godfrey, if he knocks him out, Daniel Dubois would get full credit as the King Slayer. King Slayer. If Daniel Dubois knocks out Alexander Usyk, he will be the King Slayer officially. He'll be Jaime Lannister, Daniel Dubois, the King Slayers of Westeros. Absolutely. If he knocks out Usyk, it's done. Then people can move on. Then people can jump off the Usyk train. Then they can join the rest of the fighters in boxing, unless they're fans of just Usyk. And if they're fans of just Usyk, they're not coming to boxing. But that's okay. We don't want them, because they're not fans of boxing. They're fans of men. They're fans of boxers, not boxing. There's a big difference. Instead of praising that next best guy, or that next potential guy, or that next dude to do so, they're worried about the legacy or the reputation of one boxer, because that boxer represents their own ego. So if they get affected, which they will, because if they're worshiping boxers, they're going to be hurt behind that loss. And they're going to take it personally, and they're going to get the fuck out. And they're not going to return. That's it. What's your prediction card? I haven't heard crap from you. Tomorrow is a fight. Who do you see winning and how you give it up? Man, I mean, Babs, I did a whole breakdown. How it wins, how they win, who wins, why. It's Dubois and how Dubois could win. Dubois could win. He can simply, work the body, take air out of the tires. He's a slower man. He lost weight, so hopefully that can help him. Work the jab, take it to Usyk, pin him on the ropes, be dirty. Do what you must, because it's all about what the referee allows you to do. This is a fight anyway. I'm like Mike Tyson. It's a fight anyway. Who matter? What does it matter? What does it matter? It's a fight anyway, right? It is. And you know what I mean? It could be like you could get a Lawrence Cole referee in there that don't give a shit. He don't even see low blows. He don't even see low blows. Or you could have a referee, is it Luis Carbone, I think it is. Luis Carbone, I think it was. Or that you hit anywhere near the belt line, he's calling it a low blow. So it all depends on what the ref allows him to do. Bill knows boxing. We'd be forced to listen to Don Charles bitching. Oh, man. Oh, but listen, you're going to hear that too. So if you don't like Don Charles, you better hope Danny Dubois don't knock out Usyk, because if Danny Dubois knocks out Usyk, you're going to hear Don Charles. I told you guys. I told you. I told you. He is a liar. He is a fraud. He's a manipulator. He is Satan. He is not of God. And we showed him with our hands that God delivered this ass whooping upon him. That's what happened. Daniel Dubois did exactly what he's supposed to do in this fight. Why, I tried to help as much as I can, and I hope I did a just job. Daniel Dubois showed him that he is a liar, that he should not be here. He is gone, and I'm glad that God delivered him to us, because it is his fate, and it adds more to the legacy of Daniel and me. And Stan. Last name not Lee. Bars. Got Usyk by TKO. No, I mean, you're gonna hear that. You're gonna hear Don Charles. Wait, I'm just starting up. I'm just getting warm. Listen, Usyk lied to the referee. He manipulated him very easily, and the referee fell for it. But we took it in our own hands, and we got him out. We are Russian. That's bad. Don Charles is a great spokesman. Yeah, he talks a lot of shite, don't he? I think Usyk and Dubois fight going to be a great all-day crap that Dubois' team been spewing about robbery, and we're going to see, though. We're going to see. Fight Film Channel has a video showing Dubois throwing 20 low blows. I mean, but he took 20 low blows. It's all good. What the hell is that? Charles to be banned. Definitely won't happen, but a man can dream. Who knows? Daniel, I told you, when he did this to Joshua, Joshua was the favorite. And he did Joshua the same way. And we did not need black magic. Triple D, 13 pounds heavier than the first fight. Heavy than first fight. Usyk gonna stop him by round 7. I got 100 pounds bet on it. Nikki Blue Eyes Austin in the building. I don't know. I think Usyk can, because he's done it. But how did Usyk do it? Did he do it because Daniel couldn't take the punch? Was the punch too hard? Was it that he just quit? So it's crazy. It's crazy. It's definitely something to think about. Dubois felt drained in the first fight. It was the same weight that he weighed in at 19 to 21. Well, I wish both fighters the best. I think it's ways that they can both win. It's not bad. I mean, it's not bad at all. 227 versus 243. Dubois the bigger guy, so yeah, I seen that. I do think Usyk done that simply based off. I think his training, allowed him to bulk up a bit, and I think he's bulking up because he knows that he wants to do things that Danny Dubois that he's going to need speed to do, but he's also going to need the bulk that he feels. So he's going to have to physically be prepared to take it to Danny Dubois. I mean, I see how, Usyk is throwing those wide hooks, those rapid fire combinations where he's just throwing nothing but hooks. You've seen Usyk do that. Louis Pabon is the ref for the fight. Pabon, yeah. Luis Pabon. So let's hope we don't have a ref like that. And so if a punch does land, we get to see what Usyk can do instead of, go with the, Dubois is going to bully Usyk. He should. He needs to if he's going to have any chance of winning. Get him, bash him up, beat him up. Don't stop until his ass is on the ground, until he's down. Get him. That's what Daniel needs to do in this fight, people. He needs to take it to Oleksandr Usyk. Absolutely. You can't leave nothing to chance. So, but guys, it's been great. It's been real. I have some more content to come out with you because I am very bars. But no, love you guys. We'll see you tomorrow. We have an all-day card, 2 fight cards. Manny Pacquiao taking on Mario Barrios. And of course, we have Oleksandr Usyk being challenged by Daniel Dubois for the undisputed heavyweight championship of the world. And not in that order. We will reconvene, I think, at 11 a.m. tomorrow. And then we're going to go 12 hours tomorrow. We're going to have some fun tomorrow. So I have to be ready. I will be prepared. I will be on time. We will have fun. Mark your dates, your calendars for this particular event. I will create the Manny Pacquiao stream for later, and I think I'll start at like 7:30, because I think that'll be over by 5. But I have to do the recap videos in between that, so I won't be asleep. I'm going to be right where we need to be. Let's go. 12 hours, at least 10 hours live stream tomorrow. So we got a lot of working to do. So let's work. Let's get it on. And I will see you guys all live tomorrow. And plus, I got about 5 videos to peg out to you guys today. So enjoy those on top of more that I got to make based on what I just saw today. The work don't stop. We working. But you guys, love you guys. And everybody has been Counterpunch. See you tomorrow. Peace.